Hey everyone, welcome back to the Charles Oliveira Fan Club for another banger video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my UFC 308 predictions and breakdown in Abu Dhabi. It's an absolutely stacked card, an amazing card. I'm so excited for it. I'm going to be predicting the main card fights and two of the prelim fights. So let's get into it. First fight I'll be predicting is Mateusz Rebecki versus Mike Tibek Orobai at lightweight. Well, it's been moved to catchweight now. One of them is weight. But Mateusz Rebecki is the underdog in this fight. Mike Tibek Orobai, pretty sizable favorite, and I agree with that. I do think Mike Tibek Orobai is going to get this one done by unanimous decision. Mike Tibek Orobai is undefeated. I think Mateusz Rebecki is coming off a loss. So yeah, Mike Tibek Orobai is just a very, very good grappler and also has some decent striking, and I think he's just going to do much better than Mateusz Rebecki, and I think he's going to dominate Mateusz Rebecki to a unanimous decision. I even think he could maybe sub Mateusz Rebecki, but I'm going to go play it safe here. Unanimous decision for Mike Tibek Orobai. Next fight is Geoff Neal versus Rafael dos Anjos at welterweight. Geoff Neal ranked number 10 and is the favorite in this fight. RDA is the underdog in this fight, and I'm going to pick Geoff Neal to knock RDA out. RDA is coming off 2 losses, so he's not, RDA is not completely washed, but his age is definitely showing. He's probably going to have to retire soon. I'm surprised he's even still fighting in the UFC. Props to him. I think he's the most experienced fighter on the roster right now, but yeah, I think Geoff Neal is going to KO him in round 3. Geoff Neal has some very good boxing. Geoff Neal last fight, I think was against Ian Gary. Lost a pretty close decision. I think it was a split decision actually. But yeah, Geoff Neal has some very good boxing, and I think he's just gonna box RDA's head off until round 3, where he's gonna KO RDA. Yeah, I mean, the way to RDA for win, that does not make sense in English. But the way RDA can win is to grapple with Geoff Neal, and I just don't see that happening. I think Geoff Neal's boxing is going to be too good for RDA, and I think he's going to get slapped in round 3. Next fight on the card is Shara Magomedov versus Armen Petrosyan at middleweight. Shara Magomedov is the favorite in this fight, Armen Petrosyan the underdog. I was expecting Shara to be a much bigger favorite. Usually he is quite a big favorite going into his fights. But yeah, I'm going to pick Shara Magomedov to win. He is undefeated. I think Petrosyan is coming off a loss, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, the minute Shara faces a grappler, I will pick against him. I don't think Shara's that good. He's very good at striking, but I think his grappling is just severely lacking. I mean, he had to cheat by grabbing onto the fence against Tricoli. Not a very good look for Shara Magomedov in terms of grappling. So yeah, he's pretty much only got striking, but at that, his striking is very good, and I think he just has more weapons than Petrosyan in this fight. Petrosyan, he's a decent kickboxer, but I think Shara is just better on the feet, and I think that's going to get him a round 3 TKO over Armen Petrosyan. But anyway, next fight is at featherweight, Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige. Lerone Murphy, number 12th in the division, undefeated, pretty cool there. And then Dan Ige is ranked number 14th, coming off that badass thing that he did against Diego Lopez. For those of you who don't know, Brian Ortega was supposed to fight Diego Lopez at 303. Brian Ortega pulled out like 3 hours before the fight. Then Dan Ige just pulled up 3 hours notice, ready to fight, won a round against Diego Lopez. That means it was Diego Lopez who prepared for Brian Ortega and who made weight like 3 times. But I mean, still, it's very impressive, very badass thing to do, so I rate Dan Ige. But I'm going to pick Lerone Murphy here. I mean, Lerone Murphy is very good, very well-rounded. He beat Edson Barbosa in his last fight, and I think he's just going to get a unanimous decision win over Dan Ige. I just think he's better than Dan Ige all around, and, you know, he's the prospect, he's the undefeated guy. Dan Ige is a little bit older. You know, Lerone Murphy, still very good, and yeah, that's my pick for this fight. Next fight, here it gets really interesting. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic at light heavyweight. Magomed Ankalaev ranked number 2 and is the pretty big favorite in this fight. Arguably should be fighting Pereira for the title, And number 5, Rakic, is the pretty big underdog in this fight. But I'm going to pick Magomed Ankalaev to win this fight. I think Magomed Ankalaev is dead set on getting that title shot, and I don't think anything's going to stop him. I hope he doesn't win, though. I don't like Ankalaev. His style is just very boring, and I don't know what I'd do if he beats Pereira. But yeah, Rakic, I don't know how Rakic is ranked this high, and I don't think he deserves this fight. He lost to Oezdemir. To be fair to him, it was a pretty dodgy decision. But then after that, he lost an injury to Jan. Then he got TKO'd by Yuri. But to give Rakic credit, he was piecing Yuri up before he got KO'd. But yeah, I actually think Ankalaev's better. Like if you're losing to Yuri and Blachowicz, I think you are going to lose to Ankalaev, and I've picked Ankalaev by unanimous decision. Ankalaev is pretty well-rounded. He can strike, he can grapple, but, Alexander Rakic is also pretty good. I would not completely count Rakic out. I think the odds are a little bit too in favor of Ankalaev. I'd say it would be a decently close fight, because Rakic is a pretty good grappler, and he has some decent striking as well. And then, yeah, I just think Ankalaev's better. He's also coming off a win. I think he's only lost once in the UFC. But yeah, I think Ankalaev is just dead set on getting that title shot. I don't think anyone or anything is going to get in the way of that, especially after he beats Rakic. For the co-main event, we have Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. Robert Whittaker is the number 3 ranked middleweight in the world and is the underdog in this fight. Khamzat Chimaev ranked number 13 and is the favorite in this fight. Khamzat Chimaev is undefeated at the moment, coming off a win to Kamaru Usman. Robert Whittaker is coming off a win to Ikram Aliskerov. And this fight was actually originally scheduled for the UFC Saudi Arabia Fight Night card, and now it has been moved on to this pay-per-view, and I think just adds to the pay-per-view. I think it just makes it a much better pay-per-view for everyone. And into my prediction, I think Whittaker's going to win. I'm going for the underdog pick here. I think Khamzat is going to go out there, he's going to gas out in round 1, and then Whittaker's just going to cruise to a decision. That's how I see the fight going. I could see a reality in which Khamzat does finish him in the first round, but as far as for now, I just think Whittaker is going to beat him by unanimous decision. I think he's going to get 10-8 in the first round. He's going to survive that, in my opinion. He's going to make it to the 5th round and beat him by decision. That's how I see this fight going. Last fight for Whittaker was in first round TKO against Ikram Aliskerov. It was Ikram on short notice, and it was in replace of Khamzat Chimaev, actually. Khamzat Chimaev last fought Kamaru Usman on short notice. Usman is obviously way better than Ikram Aliskerov, but Khamzat, I'd argue that Usman won that fight. I think that fight was a draw, but if you were going to give it to someone, I'd give it to Usman over Khamzat. So, yeah, I don't think Khamzat's that good. I don't really see him being a champion one day, and I think Whittaker's going to beat him, man. I'm going for an upset pick here. On to the main event, Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway for the featherweight title. This is the best main event of the year. I don't think I've ever been as hyped for a title fight this year as I have for this one. This is just an amazing fight to make. I'm just so excited for this one. I can't wait to see it. It's just going to be such an insane fight. Both guys are very, very good. Ilia Topuria is the favorite in this one, and Max Holloway is the underdog, ranked number 2 in the featherweight division. And yeah, I think the odds should be closer. I think the odds were quite close, and then as we got closer to fight week, the odds just went more in Ilia's favor, because I am a Max Holloway fan. I'm on the Blessed Express, but Ilia has kind of been cooking Max leading up to the fight, and that has made me a bit scared, not gonna lie. But I'm still going to go with Max Holloway, and I'm going to go with him by unanimous decision. And I think it's going to be a close fight. I think Max Holloway is going to just be keeping distance the whole time, going in there, going out, like similar to what he did against Justin Gaethje. And yeah, I think he's gonna get it like that. And the reason why I say close fight is because I think Ilya's gonna land like one or two big shots in like a few rounds, and that might, you know, sway that round to Ilya's favor and make it like 48-47, even though Max was kind of dominating. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Ilya pieces him up. Maybe it is just a all out war and it's just a close fight. I don't know. There's so many outcomes of this fight, but I think that Max Holloway is going to be smart here. I think Max Holloway is going to be keeping distance. I think he's going to be doing what he did against Justin Gaethje, and I think that is the way for Max Holloway to win this fight, to keep distance, to go in there, do damage, get out. Because Topuria, if you stand with Topuria, if you get into the pocket with Topuria, you are kind of done for. Topuria is probably the best boxer in the UFC. You know, Max Holloway is the self-proclaimed best boxer in the UFC, but in reality, I think it's Topuria. And Topuria is very good. He's great on the feet, and he's got some really solid grappling. So yeah, he's just a very well-rounded guy, pretty much like no weaknesses. The reach advantage for Max, I think, is significant. Yeah, I know their reach is listed as the same, but Max Holloway is a lot taller. So if he just leans back, it's going to make it a lot harder for Ilia Topuria to actually land his punches. So I think height also does play a factor in keeping distance, not only reach, right? So yeah, I think Max Holloway is going to get it done by that. I just pray he uses that game plan. I hope he doesn't do something stupid. Obviously, Ilia Topuria has said he's just going to stand there in the first 10 seconds of the fight, point to the ground. He's not going to do that. I don't think he's going to do that. That's just stupid. He's just saying that to aggravate Max and to make more people pick him. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a very, very close fight. It was a very hard one to pick. And as a Max Holloway fan, I did consider picking Ilia. I was considering picking Ilia by knockout. But no, I don't think Ilia Topuria is going to knock Max Holloway out. If there is a guy to knock him out, I think it probably is Topuria, but I think Max Holloway is going to beat Topuria, and that's my thought and my hope, and I'm blessed man forever, brother. Yeah, but I think Max Holloway is going to win. We'll see Saturday night, brother.
Like I said, like he just said, we're gonna find out what I've been saying all week. We're a couple days away, bro. Tune in. It's gonna be fun.
Max, find out for Holloway. Find out all the time. We will find out. We will find out.
We'll see. Those impressions are terrible, by the way. I don't even know why I'm doing it. But anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on that fight. And that's how Max Holloway can win. That's my full breakdown of the fight. That's probably the most in-depth I've ever gone with a fight when breaking down on predictions. I hope you guys enjoy it, though, because it was fun to do. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to drop your predictions in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to win, Max or Ilya? It's a very, very close fight. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It really helps. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Make sure to tune into this fight. It's going to be a very good card. And yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.